And this episode is brought to you by Pew 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 Dragon Bags. I just,
Pew, pew, pew.
Pew Pew Pew, baby. Head over to dragonbags.com and pick yourself up some heat today. We can't say enough about the Power Dragon, and now they have the Power Dragon L. I mean, guys, Dirty Dragon L's, they got all the dirty dragons and power dragons and dragons galore over at dragonbags.com. Drop code BIGASP12 at checkout. It's going to save you 12%. Not 10, that's 12%.
12.
Code BIGASP12 at checkout at dragonbags.com. Get your shiz today.
All right, welcome back to the Big Asp Cornhole Podcast. Sean and Dane are with you as always. What's going on, man?
Not too much. I mean, I'm really looking forward to leaving all that in there.
I know, I fucked it up the first time really bad. So Dane's going to clip that out. I was watching the game and then I went back. I'm like, oh shit, he pointed at me.
Basically, he wanted us to
do an
have our interview start. Yeah. Well, guess what, Sean? We already did that.
Yeah,
it's just you and me now, baby.
Yeah, so fun episode today.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's kick it off like we always do. Dane, let the folks know what we're sipping on tonight in our favorite segment called What You Drinking?
What you drinking?
I'm not drinking anything any longer, but earlier I had the delightful caramel pumpkin from Southern Tier.
I don't think I've had the caramel yet.
Dude, it is
so good.
Chef's kiss. I mean, it is a one and doneer.
Like a dessert beer.
Exactly.
Okay,
like you just have one and you're good, but
I gotcha.
God, is it just it's a delicious little treat. And I'm looking forward to going to Pumpkin in 2 weeks. It's Pumpkin Fest at Southern Tier that I will be attending, so just gearing up, just getting ready.
Getting your basic white girl on?
Yeah, just twinkle in my eye. I mean, if you want me to be real basic white girl, my favorite flavor that they have is the chai tea pumpkin. I know.
Every time I start to have
but
hope
it's
for
delicious, so I mean, don't knock it till you try it.
You're going the other way on me.
Hey. It's like a pedicure, all right? I feel great.
All right, folks. Well, we have more audio gold planned for you all today. We're going to break down all the recent news, new partnerships, all that kind of stuff. We have some dramatic readings for you all. And then we're going to be joined by ACL pros, Mr. Chris Kingsbury and Alan Rawls.
Heck yeah.
Just a great interview. Just two really down-to-earth guys.
Yeah, for sure.
I love, and if you're watching this video, when you watch the interview, it's great because you don't actually see Alan because he was just on a phone. He was actually active in a blind draw.
Yes.
So it makes it even better because you just kind of hear this voice pop up every once in a while. But yeah, great interview. Hope you guys enjoy it at the end. But before we get into all that, we're going to bring you what's going on in our cornhole lives in a segment we call In and Around the Hole.
Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
So I went golfing on Sunday.
I went golfing on Saturday.
Nice. You just played 9, right?
I did.
All right, because you guys went super early, right?
Yeah, we teed off at like 7:20.
Yeah, I mean, Dad was there in time for Nora's game.
I mean, we played it in well under 2 hours.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was nice and quick. I love getting out for those quick like 9s and 18s in the morning.
You still have their whole day.
Exactly, and there's no room for anyone to complain.
I mean, were you home before Amy was up?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's perfect.
It's perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
But even if I play 18 and I get that 6:30 tee time,
okay,
still pretty close to being home by the time she gets up. So, yeah, I mean, I shot really well. Started off with a birdie on the first hole, which never happens for me, but went par, and then double bogey, and then par birdie.
Nice.
So it wasn't a bad round. I just had those 2 holes that got me.
Yeah, I shot a 43. I wasn't thrilled with it, but with how my round started off. And again, it was one of those rounds that me, even Dad didn't score that great either. It was just we were hitting the ball well. We just weren't scoring well.
Yeah.
I don't know what, and it wasn't our short game was bad. I just kept missing greens in regulation, but fairways, I was doing okay. But I'm excited this Saturday. Was supposed to be an epic event. It was supposed to be the Big Asp Open. We had to cancel it due to, I guess, lack of participation. I guess there wasn't enough teams that registered. So we're gonna still honor that day. It's a sacred holiday, so we're having our own big, I guess we'll call it the mini Asp Open. And we're just doing a little 4-man scramble. If you're listening to this and you're in the Cleveland or Ohio area, and you're interested in golfing Saturday afternoon, hit us up. We have some tee times available. So if you want to join the fun, just come on out and we're gonna have some fun. Drink some beers, play a lot of golf, and
crush beers.
Yeah, yes, I'm sorry,
a little different verbiage there.
Yeah, but if you're interested, just message us on Facebook, and we'll get your info.
Love a gay old time.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be at Shale Creek in Medina.
Yeah,
I think we have tea time starting at 12:30, and we have a couple of them right after that. So
Yes, sir.
So beautiful course though.
Yeah.
I've never played there.
It's really
Seen
nice, man.
pictures.
I do like it. It's we were
I'm
talking
pumped.
about we were talking earlier, but later for you folks about GPS and carts.
Yeah.
Yes, they have in their shop.
Are you a reader?
I actually have been reading a lot more.
Okay,
so,
so
yeah.
if you're reading a book,
Mhm.
and I don't know if we're losing like half our audience right now, but anyways,
What's a book?
with all them words. How long do you give a book before you're like, yeah, I'm not interested?
So I will typically, I'm a big like read the back cover, and
Okay.
then I'll usually give it like the first 3 chapters.
Okay. All
Like
right.
I'll read the preface and then like the first 3 chapters, and if it's just for me, it's not even like, am I gonna enjoy the storyline? It's like, do I like the flow of the author?
Yes, I'm 100%.
Like, and
yes.
if it's choppy to me and I like
Yeah.
I'm not comprehending it like fluidly, then I'm
Yeah.
just like, this isn't for me. Like I just
I
don't pick
will.
it up.
I'll give them less than 20 pages. If I find myself struggling
Yeah.
and like finding like I have to go reread something because I'm like, what did they? Yeah,
Right.
then I'm out. Like I'm with you. I'm like, I'm not even giving them that long. Like
I had
3
to-
chapters is pretty generous.
I had to read this horrible book for work that was like about like business strategies and shit. I'm
Ugh.
just sitting there. I'm like, oh my god, it was only 200 pages. It took me 3 weeks to read it.
The best thing
I
about
kept falling asleep.
finally finishing school, and I remember sitting there thinking, I'm like, oh, if I ever want to read something, like I get to pick now.
Yes.
Like I don't
Yeah.
no more textbooks. Like I'm done with all that. Like I don't ever have to take another test again.
What's your go-to genre?
Like military, political thriller type stuff.
So
Like my
the
favorite- my
Alex
favorite-
Cross and stuff like that.
I did,
mean,
yeah, but like
I
I
know
don't
it's
know.
more dad's territory.
Yeah, those were like when I was younger, like high school. Like
Mhm.
I'd like to bump those out, but like no, more recently, there is there's an Amazon series that they created with Chris Pratt, called The Terminal
the
List.
Terminal List.
So
yeah.
that series of books, and I'm blanking out on the author's name right now, but that series of books, I think there's like 6 or 7 books now,
Yeah.
are all phenomenal. I read them and I had a book on tape just because again, like I've hour commute to work every day, so kind of rip right through something like
sure.
that. But so if you're
And that's
looking
really
for
where it
something to
started
read,
for me too.
yeah, it's really good. And even the show does the book some justice, but I will say, and again, I'm not just like being that guy. The book is better than like the show
Yeah.
is. Like it goes in way more detail. There's several characters that they aren't able to kind of like mix in.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I don't know why. Like I was thinking about the other day. I'm like, what? This is garbage. Like
Yeah.
I'm not reading this. I'm like, I'm putting this down.
I mean, I'm going back through now and reading Stephen King classics.
I've never read a Stephen King book.
And
Is it worth it? Like, should I
Dude.
do it? Like, I know everyone keeps saying like they're so good, I should just do it. Like, I don't know what's a good one to start with from
The
him?
Shining.
You think The Shining's a
Read
good
The
one?
Shining, and you'll be like, all right, I'm gonna. It's the
Okay.
first book I ever read that actually like creeped me out when I was reading it.
Okay, all right.
Um,
I'm interested. Also, out there, I do enjoy reading.
Yeah.
If you have something that like might be interesting in that realm, just message us.
For
Like,
sure,
I'm always
yeah.
interested in like finding new stuff.
I mean, I'm reading Misery
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
Dude, again, like it's one that like
And
those kinds of books
I'm
are
pretty
hard
much
for me to
open
put down.
reading like to any like for
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, I'm
like,
just
I-
kind of in the like it's spooky time, so I'm like in
No, I
like a
get
little
that.
bit of a Stephen King phase, but like yeah, I don't know. Like I do read, like I actually love like sports biographies and stuff too. Like
Yeah.
I love reading about great sports figures
Oh, yeah.
and random stuff. So
But
yeah, I
honestly,
mean I read a
now,
lot.
it sounds
across the
terrible,
board.
but like that stuff, like I got 30 for 30s now. You know what I mean? Like
they do, but like I don't know. It's more the off kilter ones, the ones
I
that
get
aren't
that.
quite good enough to be 30 for 30, but still
I
like
get it.
like Omar Vizquel's.
Yeah.
Read that one.
Oh, okay.
It's a good one.
It would be. Yeah. Oh,
So-
all right. So some of the news around the league.
Yeah.
I guess it's the off season. Every week, more partnerships are kind of being announced. So let's just kind of go over some of the newest ones that.
Slap them down, baby.
All right. So the first one was just literally announced like a few hours ago before
Yeah.
we were recording. Fisher Hamilton, surprise, surprise. He had originally posted this afternoon that like, hey, I'm walking away. I'm selling these bags. Made it very believable.
Yeah.
And from what I had talked to his dad at the blind draw, if you're a fan of the show and you've listened, you would know that like he was seriously considering stepping away.
Mhm.
Gavin Cano comes out right away and said, "Hey, I'm playing with Sammy Soto."
So,
So,
it's
right
kind
away
of
to-
writing was on the
yeah, I
wall. We're
just-
like, oh yeah, it's probably
See, why would
gonna
you?
happen.
Yeah, correct. So to me, Fisher Hamilton announcing that he's going to play with Crabtree is interesting because to me that means that it very much seems apparent that Gavin wanted the partner change, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of hard on Fisher's performance when it came down to the
Of
final
course.
rounds with them early on in the season. So I mean, maybe he just couldn't hack it.
And they're going to be throwing with Underworld Cornhole. They announced that.
Okay.
So a newer pro stamped bag this year coming out. I know that they've been looking to make a little bit of a splash. So I'll be interested. I mean, Crabtree has potential, man. Like it just, again, he's landing probably his best partner like that he's had. So he's got that crazy weird spin, like counterclap, you know what I mean? Like release. It's a wild watch.
Real
throw.
funky, yeah.
But I think that, I mean, I don't think that they're like in like a top 10 or top 15 consideration like early on in the season. There's one of those teams that has potential, and maybe they do break out a little bit and they crack, maybe they finish like 12th. But I just think it's getting so deep right now, and picking your doubles partner is so important with the rumors of the league going down to 100 next year.
Yeah, for sure.
It just makes it so much more
important. Click with and be able to produce.
Another team that was announced is Tanner Halbert. We were kind of wondering, where does Tanner end up with, and now that Jacob is playing with Jamie Graham, that was all official. He's throwing with Justin Rule. I don't hate that, actually. Justin Rule was obviously probably the most improved player in the league last year. Went from throwing, a very average PPR to he led the ACL last year in PPR. You know what you're getting with him. You're going to get a very consistent down the middle kind of player. And that's kind of what you need on the opposite side of Tanner. You need like somebody that's going to steady the ship and then let Tanner go do what he does and hit like the timely airmails and gather the points.
Yeah.
So I think style wise, like as a team, I think that they should balance each other out pretty well.
I mean, style wise for sure. Name power wise though, I was just I was a little surprised. Like I thought Tanner would have gotten a bigger fish maybe, but like
I don't think Tanner's part of like that crew.
Yeah, and so like again, there's no slight against Justin. It was just like
no.
It wasn't who I was expecting.
No.
When it came out, but again, I don't mind the pairing. I think they are going to be successful.
No, for sure.
When to me they're still
and
top
I think
20
if
caliber.
you're Tanner, that's what you look at. You look at this as like a business decision.
Yeah.
Again, we just got done saying it's
who am I
important.
going to re-qualify
Yeah,
with?
exactly. And I think that Justin showed last year that he's more than capable of holding up his end of the bargain.
Yeah, for sure.
So if it's a business decision, I will say you make a good point though. Like it was a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, I just remember when I saw it and I was like, oh, all right. But then like the more I think about it, I do like the pairing.
Yeah.
So
Twin Terrors announcing
Twin Terrors
that they are going to throw. I know we had talked about this a few weeks ago, just saying that like we hope that was the case. We already saw that Hunter Thorne was playing with Carson. No, who's he throwing with? Hunter with Thorson.
Hunter Thorson and Hunter Thorne.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
So we knew that the Gore and Soto was gone. So what was going to happen there? I think that long term wise, them playing together it means something. You know what I mean? It's a brand, it's marketing. I think it's a smart choice. And again, when they've played together, they've been really fucking good.
And that's what I'm thinking, man.
Just
I think
go and have fun again,
their
guys.
experiment didn't quite work out the way they thought. Still successful, just not the level that they were the 2 years prior.
I'll be interested to see, cause I don't think they've been officially announced. Like, are they sticking with BG? I haven't seen that yet.
That I'm not sure. Yeah, I didn't see that either.
Rawls and Holland sticking together. No surprise, right? I mean, coming off of that
yeah, I think you gotta run it back.
I mean, they're really good.
Yeah.
I mean, we know what you're gonna get. They're gonna be a top 5 team next year. I mean, you don't see anything that would
kind of like
change that.
Kingsbury and Rawls.
Yeah, I mean, it's
really
just again,
good.
they're just really steady. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. We mentioned before. I swear that we mentioned Gavin and Sammy playing together. So Soto.
If we haven't, then we definitely mentioned it on like a call or something.
I think this was like 2 weeks ago that we mentioned it.
I thought it was one of the first ones that we brought up.
So just so Gavin hears his name, Gavin, I think you guys are gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
I think for me, power ranking wise, I consider them somewhere. I haven't decided. I haven't really sat down and thought about it, but somewhere in like that, I think that like that top 6, they're gonna fall.
I do like the pairing. I'm gonna put them as a top 15 to start.
Okay, so you're gonna make them earn it.
I want them to earn it in there.
Okay, it's interesting. I mean, I think that they're just both so talented.
Like, they are, and I'm just waiting for the Sammy Soto coming out party. It didn't happen quite the way that we thought that it would have this year.
Yeah, he's had a rough. I think the public perception of Soto after last year, unless you're like a true diehard honk, I truly believe that the casual fan is like, oh, everyone talks his kid up, but like he didn't have like the best like broadcast like appearances. So I feel like the best is yet to come for him. Like it was just his rookie season. He was still very successful.
We were expecting him to almost have the season that Jeremiah had.
Yeah, I mean, or
right out the gate. I mean, he was
if nothing else than what Trader had.
Yeah, exactly. Just right up in that level, but he still had a good season.
And let's be honest, like he has the game that he could go and win 2 nationals this year. Yeah. Like he is that good. Like it's not just blowing smoke up there. And I think you pair somebody with Gavin. Like to me, it showed last year that even when they're not playing their best, Tony Smith and Mark Richards just made it work because they're both really good players.
So good. Yeah.
Sometimes if you put these 2 guys together that are just uber talented, I think it's just going to work its way out. So I think that they're a lock for a top 10.
All right, we'll see.
I think it's interesting that Team Titan has still been silent. Like we haven't heard a goddamn peep. So it starts making it a little easier about piecing together pieces.
Yeah, because less and less people are available.
Yeah, and I know there was one kind of unknown factor that I didn't really know where he was going to fit in at, and it was Kyle Malone. But then he made a post the other day making it sound like he was seriously considering walking away.
Yeah.
It sounds like he might just walk away.
Yeah, I think
so. To me, like it still seems like our hypothesis of like Cheyenne and Power is going to come to fruition. I really think that's going to happen because I think you haven't heard anything from Bernasette and Lopez Jr.
Yeah,
like I'm assuming they're going to run it back. Why, if you're Team Titan, why would you split them up? You know what I mean? Like this is great. You know what I mean? Like you already have Birchfield and Hissner.
Yeah.
I mean, adding that would be
here's a name for you.
Okay.
Who does Windsor play with?
Dude, I don't know. I've been kind of racking my brain about that. I honestly
you saw
don't
his
know.
post that he's waiting.
Waiting to announce.
He literally said like he. Like,
I didn't see the
after
post.
I think it was after whoever's wedding they were all at. Was that Powers? I can't remember whose wedding. Devin's wedding. That he was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna take some time and like relax, and then I'll figure out the partner stuff like later.
I mean, it's an interesting approach. I think Windsor is an interesting guy because he's kind of fallen short of some expectations the last few years.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still
I said that he's still committed to the game. So
listen, Ryan Windsor is still probably a top 40 player, and on a good day, like he can still win a national theoretically. I don't. He hasn't had it as much recently, but he's still one of the top 100 pros in the country. I think that's an interesting approach, waiting so long, just because I mean it hasn't just really worked.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to think. I mean, where he could go.
And that's what I was like. I don't know. I was just curious if we're going to see Malone come back with Windsor when there's no one else left.
I think that it's very apparent that Malone wants to come back, but only if he's going to be able to sign a contract that's going to allow him to play full time.
Yes.
That money's just not there right now. If you haven't gotten that offer, if you're a pro and you're listening to this, if you have not gotten that offer, I'm going to say it's like a wishing upon a star that someone's just going to walk up and be like, hey, I want to pay you $30,000 to play cornhole next year. It's not going to happen. From what I'm hearing, the new average seems to be somewhere in like that 6,000 to 8,000 range.
Yeah.
I mean, for most pros, if you cover travel expenses, all right.
Sweet. Sign
right?
me up.
Like that's, yeah. And I think if that's an offer that you're getting, I think you really should seriously consider it. I think there are people out there, from what I'm hearing, they're asking for a lot. And I think part of the reason is that 2 years ago, we had everyone doing very well, right? Cornhole was blowing up. Everyone was signing these big deals. And then what happens when you're with somebody, and especially if you stick with a company, what do you expect every year? You want some sort of a raise. The problem is most of these guys aren't expecting like a standard raise in like the normal workplace is somewhere between 2 and 7%. These guys are wanting 15 or 20% raises. It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. And then guess what? When the market starts to shrink and sales aren't there, you're going to see this trickle down effect. Like it's just going to happen, and it's happening now. So if you're getting an offer for like 6,000 to 8,000, I think that's very good. Now we know that there's some guys out there that have gotten more than that. We know that, but there's a reason that they've already signed. It's because those companies went after those players and they knew that they were targets.
Yep, they have the
Sometimes you got to admit that like maybe I didn't perform last year up to expectations. Maybe I'm not a target this year. So are you willing to grind for it?
Yeah.
If you're not willing to grind for it, it's not I don't look at anybody less of it for walking away.
No,
Fuck, if it's not making you money and you can't do it, make it like I get it, man. It's a lot of fucking time that you're taking away from family and friends and other interests in your life. 100% get it. But if it's something that you truly love and you wanna pursue it, then yeah, you might just have to grind a little bit and make it work.
for sure. No, I agree 100%.
And again, grow social media. This is before we move on to anything else. Like this is we had the Team Asp, big Asp applications, right? We announced. Listen, first of all, if you filled one out and you're listening to the show, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
There was an overwhelming amount of applicants. Dane and I literally spent 3 hours last night going through each and every resume. We had kind of already had lists put together of names that we wanted to seriously consider, and we had to whittle down a list of over 200 names down to like less than 20 is what we're deciding.
Mm-hmm.
So if you did not make the cut, it is nothing personal, but I think it's a point. It's for some of you to really look back and like reflect that if you want a sponsorship, there's things that companies are going to want from you, and one of those things to me very seriously is a social media presence. It doesn't do anything for me if you're only reaching like 30 or 40 people at like a local league. Like I think it's great that you're going out there and everyone loves you. That's awesome. But we're looking for like mass effect appeal. So if you did get it, the email's gonna be coming out this week. Whether it was a yay or an nay. But again, thank you very much for everyone for taking the time out of your day, showing interest, the amount of love that was shown like just in the comment section. Thank you. I mean, we read every comment and we took everything to heart. So thank you very much for showing the interest and stuff.
A lot of funny people out there.
Oh, dude,
a lot of
that's
funny people. Loved it.
yeah. We laughed quite a bit yesterday going through some stuff, and sometimes that goes a long way.
It does.
And I
yeah.
think when you're filling out an application like that, just kind of having a pulse on what somebody might be reading. Like I'm sure that everyone here would represent our brand with honor and respect. That to me, that should almost be unsaid.
Yeah. If you're putting in the application, I'm expecting you
Yeah.
to do it with honor and respect.
The ones I respect the most are the ones that like they don't follow us on social media, have never listened to an episode. Like,
Yeah.
listen, at least you're honest, man,
Yeah.
because I'm checking that stuff.
Like,
So,
why
thank
should
you.
we pick you? Be like, I'm really not that sure. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, say less.
Yeah, absolutely. Ruben and Trader. Now jumping completely back. Sorry,
Yeah.
I get off sideways.
Next
like that.
team.
Ruben and Trader was confirmed that they're throwing together. Now they did not announce a bag partnership yet, so which I find is interesting. I've heard rumors that it was going to be all cornhole. I still think in my gut that's what it's going to end up being, but Ruben does have a history of like saying yes to a bag maker and then last second be like, oh wait a minute, like hold on.
Dangling some fruit overhead and being like,
I like that offer better, so I'm
Yeah.
going to go over there. So I don't know if there is some jockeying there. Keeping his options open might be smart. Again, if Jay Rubin was going to come back, I cannot imagine that he's going to come back without some sort of like financial guarantee that he's going to be making a base salary of something, right?
yes.
I would imagine.
I mean, it's got to be I think a good base salary. for
Listen,
him.
if Cheyenne is truly leaving all cornhole, you have a big fucking hole to fill in all corn. Like, who is throwing your bags anymore besides Frank Modlin? And no offense, we love Frank,
Yeah.
but like he's not like he cannot be your
He
marketing
can't carry
guy.
the brand.
No.
Like, I mean, his demographic reach isn't far enough.
Yeah, and listen, you need guys these days to perform on the boards. Like you just do, just stay somewhat relevant.
Yeah.
You really do. I didn't used to think that was the case, but like you do kind of need somebody to kind of stay relevant, or you're gonna just kind of be stuck in like all we do is like only the cornhole honks know us, or we're only really popular like regionally. So
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. I just want when do they have to make all this stuff official? Like, is there a hard date that they have to like
I think they have to sign their pro contracts by.
end of September, right?
I
Was it
thought-
the 27th?
I thought it was sometime by
Your birthday? Is it your
Oh.
birthday?
It might be. That'd
It
be
must
it.
be your birthday.
I didn't get a contract though.
No,
Never got that email, Trey.
it's not your birthday yet.
Kind of weird. Kind of weird.
They'll send it to you on your birthday. Be like, oh wait, but it's too late. you can't fill it out.
Were you keeping up at all with the Ellis and Jamie Graham trash talk?
Yeah. I mean, it's was that trash talk?
Okay, so my question is, do you think it is organic? Like, do you think it's real? Like they're trying to trash talk, or do you think this is like them talking behind the scenes? Like, listen, we're gonna go at each other, but we're boys. You know what
I
mean?
don't know. I don't
'Cause
know
it's-
how much behind the scenes talking. I think they have a mutual understanding that, like, hey, I think we need to start a little trash talking. They started it last season, and they're just ramping it up a little bit.
I
think
think
it's calculated.
I think we have two guys that truly believe that they are the best at what
Yeah.
they do, and they want everyone in the room to know it. And it's just kind of just spilling out into social media world.
Mhm.
I don't think that it's like staged at all. I do think when Jamie Graham is saying something to Ellis, he's fucking pissed that like he's like, I'm the one that's fucking won a world championship twice.
Yeah.
Like you won 2 nationals. Like I have the most fucking titles of all time. Like what? Who are you again? Yeah, I mean, or not in the most. I'm sorry, Trey has the most titles of all time.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like peacocking a little bit. And I don't know. I do think that it's organic. Like I don't think that this is like a stage thing. What? Hold on.
No,
What?
nothing other. No. So when you were talking about them like peacocking, all I could think of was the segment on spitting chicklets of
I haven't seen that.
who has the smallest wiener. Have you
Oh,
you've heard
God.
that?
Yes.
Yes. So that's all I was imagining. Fellas. And if you know what I'm talking about from that little snippet, God bless your heart.
Oh, I have the
Sorry for
smallest
that. It's,
wiener.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, it's
It's
no, it's pretty epic. No, it was.
But that's
very
all
epic.
I could think of in their battle against each other. They just walk into a cornhole venue, fellas.
I don't know what to say. I was just not. I promise you, that's not where I was going with it.
No, I know, but that's
Okay.
just where my brain went. I couldn't stop laughing.
But I know that like their, well, in quotes, beef was going back and forth, and it drew a lot of attention. Obviously,
Their
I did. Just for you.
Thank you.
Was drawing a lot of attention, and I don't think it's a bad thing. We need some sort of characters again in the ACL, and a little bit of banter back and forth, little shit talk is good for the game.
Yeah.
It's good. It's
It
okay.
is.
We
It's
want
great.
rivalries. We want the next time Jamie Graham and Jeremiah Ellis watch, I guarantee you it'll probably break like a streaming record.
1,000%.
They're gonna have 1,000 people, 2,000 people watching that stream just to see if anything goes off, and you're gonna want to mic those guys up.
Well, they're
Like that's
really
what I would
hoping
want.
really hoping it happens on ESPN.
Yeah, I guess it would lose something on ESPN. If we want the true match,
Yeah.
do it on a live stream. That's what we need right there.
We're doing it live.
Correct.
Yeah.
And again, like you can do a cash game. Like everyone's like a cash game. Like fuck cash games. Like those don't mean anything.
Yeah, I
And
want
how about
something
in
on
a
the line.
tournament? Yeah, that you're trying to win a championship. You've been playing for 6 hours straight. You know what I mean? You're playing for king seat match kind of thing. Like that's the kind of match that I want to see those two play.
What if they play for the chain, the Believe chain?
Oh, that would be kind of sweet. But what would Jamie give up though?
Wasn't he wearing some kind of
I'm sure he's got
chain
something.
when he was? Yeah.
Seems like a chain guy.
Yeah. Just throw up a chain, Jamie.
Fair enough.
Chain.
I think. Oh, so Ultra has a new bag that's releasing.
Yes.
It's the Viper RS. So
So
really,
is that like a mini bag?
it's like a
really
really, I know,
small?
like really small Viper.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's the Viper R, but with a smaller template, different fill. I'll be interested to kind of see how different it really is, because the Viper R is kind of like a bigger bag.
Yeah.
So if they're really going to be like, I don't know if it's like a way of Ultras coming out, be like, we're making the bag legal but as small as possible. So any bag that's smaller than this, like I don't know, like I don't get it. They are good at marketing. I'll give them credit for that. Like the way they word things is
Yeah.
pretty good. We get into that with
Well, they're-
Chris and
yeah,
Alan a little
Their
bit.
patented seam technology that
So,
keeps your butthole puckered. I don't.
but again,
really
like
know what it was.
it's rare that you see hype behind a bag now, like a
Yeah.
newer bag.
was
it-
there
it-
hype? Was there a lot of hype?
It seemed like it. It seemed like there was a decent amount of I mean, more so than like other things that are getting released at this time.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting, and you get a sweet bag measurer thing.
You know, I saw the video on that thing. Like, isn't Mark Pryor like a rocket scientist or something?
I don't know what something like that.
That's the best version of that. I could literally make
They
that.
literally watched Deadliest Catch,
Yeah.
and they grabbed one of those things, the crab measure
Yeah,
things.
I could just go make one. I have a couple 2x4s. I'll just get to whittling real quick and cut that thing out. I mean,
Oh, you're a wood whittler.
I'm a wood whittler. No, I'm not Brennan Ahern.
Ooh, name drop
Throwback.
there.
But yeah, no, it was just I saw it and I'm like, okay, so this is innovation. Just literally a piece of wood with a square cut out of the bottom.
Yeah.
That you just hold up to a certain height, and that's supposed to be the checker. How
look-
often are we going to see this in tournaments?
Never.
Never.
I mean, they literally had it called at a world championship game.
Yeah, is anyone
And-
allowed to just bring that with them and challenge somebody's bag at any given moment and be like, but the ultra reader says that this is an illegal bag?
I mean, theoretically, yes.
That scares me.
Yeah, a little bit. All right, let's do dramatic readings.
In a world where bean bags have brought men to their knees, social media serves as sanctuary for keyboard warriors. Time for the dramatic readings.
All right, this dramatic reading is brought to you by Austin Kipple. Imagine Viking Cornhole Company removing you from a tournament with a 17 PPR cap that they set, which you and your partner come in just under because people are scared to play you. What a joke.
Wow.
So through the comments, I was able to find out that Austin was going to be playing with Gage Landis.
Okay.
On Scoreholio, they did fall combined PPR just slightly under 17, which is I've heard Austin talk about his game a lot, which I know he thinks very highly of his game.
Yeah.
It sounds like you should be more than an 8.5, what he was, and then we know that Gage is more than like an 8.3 PPR guy. We know that. Now I know like there's obviously and I'm not accusing anyone of cheating. Like they obviously don't probably play a lot of Scoreholio type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it would be that low. But again, like it's one of those, if you're gonna set a PPR limit, then you got to live and die by it. If you're gonna be like, hey, no 2 pros, then make that the rule.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I do kind of, I don't know. I'm kind of on Austin's side a little bit, thinking like, listen, like on Scoreholio, what it's on there, it's. I mean, they're under 17. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, if I'm a tournament director, I'm like, I mean, they follow the rules.
Yeah.
They did.
They just found a loophole between the two.
Unless the
Good
rules
for
also
them.
stated like no 2 pros.
They'll
Like
go
that's
beat 'em.
I don't know.
And that's to me where you're missing out. Like if you want it to be a no 2 pro tournament, then just throw that in there.
Did London finally do something with his career?
He just he caught a touchdown.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow, good for him.
And he was more surprised than anyone else.
Yeah.
And then he got flagged.
And then
for
they're gonna go
unsportsmanlike conduct.
15 yards back for a field goal, right?
Yep.
To try to win it.
To win
Wow.
it. Yeah. That's dumb.
Wow, that is
Dumb.
bananas. All right, we got one more dramatic reading here. This is Addicted to Cornhole. Samus Pringledorf. I love how these cornhole pros at the end of every season, when they qualify or requalify, are like, I've got a lot of decisions to make this year, as if they're not going to accept the pro card. Then they realize they have no other life skills or education to fall back on and accept the pro card every time. Then all of a sudden, they are taking this new extra year very serious and plan to grow their social media following through videos and lives to try landing a sponsor. Just to not do any of that and to finish bottom of the pro division again and repeat the cycle all over. Okay, so first of all, how he went about it is not the greatest, right? Obviously, like it comes across like very much like old mad dude,
Oh yeah.
like that. Just couldn't beat a pro, and he's running the Facebook event. What he's saying, if we're all being honest with ourselves, is not entirely untrue.
It's not, but at the same time, I'm wondering if he's just mixing up what a lot of these guys are posting up. Because yes, a lot of them are talking about being committed, but I don't think there's an issue with pros stating that they got a lot to think about at the end of an off season.
No, I don't think so either. No, I do that. I agree. That's the one section of that where I'm like, well, no, because like you're taking a lot of time away from your family.
Yeah.
It is a lot of money to invest,
It's a big
regardless if you have
commitment. Yeah.
sponsorships or not. But the bullshit that they talk about, like, I'm going to grow my social media. And then, like, as soon as December hits,
Oh yeah.
the
Gonzo.
holidays come, like, you signed your contract, like, it's gone. Like,
Mhm.
we see the same 6 people posting shit and maybe tagging their sponsor. And then after a national, we get the Monday flood of thanks my sponsors, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's I don't know, interesting.
It
I don't
is.
think
I
it was.
mean,
I don't think he made all bad points. I think the way he went about it, obviously, is kind of douchebag. And first of all, if you're gonna do something, don't hide behind like a burner account.
I know.
Like,
Pringledorf.
If
Like,
you're
what
gonna
are you
say
from
it, fucking
Narnia?
yeah, like step up and say it. He's apparently an exotic bird lover.
Yes, you know, I did. I think I saw you call him out on one of his posts
Yeah,
about that.
I did. I mean, Yeah, I mean, it was something I can't remember what it was about. Like,
But yeah, it was a nice burner account. We really committed on the birds though. There's several profile pictures with birds in
there
there.
are, and they're
Might
very
not be
exotic.
a burner.
And they are very exotic for sure, for sure. All right, you want to cue the rap horn?
Do I ever?
Do it. That was annoying.
I wanted to
Oh,
raise
gotcha.
it up.
Oh, thank
Now
you.
I brought it down.
All right, well, reach us at Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Big Asp Cornhole.
And Facebook at Big Asp Cornhole Podcast. Thanks again to our sponsor, Dragon Bags. Head over to get your heat today. Drop code BIGASP12 at checkout over at dragonbags.com.
And I'm hoping next week we're gonna be able to announce officially like who our sponsor is for next season.
Sweet.
You're never gonna guess.
Dude, never.
Never gonna guess who our new sponsor is next year. But you should go check out Dragon Bags though.
Yeah, they have sweet bags,
They
and
do.
code BIGASP12 is live again.
Yep, for sure.
Wink, wink.
Patreon. First of all, if you listen to this episode and you're like, wow, that new intro song is just great, you can thank the Patreon members. Patreon members voted on a poll of our last 6 intro songs that we're kind of launching, and they picked our favorite. So thank you very much for everyone for contributing on that. We had
Heck
some
yeah.
fun putting all that together. I know you worked pretty hard on this behind the scenes, so tip of the cap to you.
Well, thank you. Thank
sure.
you very much.
If you're looking to like, hey, how do I get access to this stuff? I would like some bonus content. If you check out patreon.com/bigaspcornhole for the price of a beer a month, we have a few different tiers. But yeah, different values. You get to vote on stuff. You get entries for bag giveaways. We're hoping to have more training videos up sooner rather than later. So yeah, check it out.
Good stuff coming for the Patreon folks.
Hell yeah. All right, well, stay tuned. We're going to be joined by Mr. Chris Kingsbury and Mr. Alan Rawls. And if you're watching it, again, you'll see Chris on the screen, and then Alan will kind of be just this mysterious voice that you're hearing. But if you're listening, you're like, oh, how do I watch the video? I want to see how good looking Chris Kingsbury is. Go to patreon.com/bigaspcornhole. You're going to find it there.
I wish we could almost like put like a little emoji over
Yeah.
him, like just have like a penguin or something, just talking whenever he talks. But technology's not quite there yet.
That'll be in the budget for next year, hopefully.
Count on it.
Oh, yeah. All right. Stay tuned for the interview. Hope you guys enjoy it. And as always, we hope you throw it straight. And it's nothing but 4 baggers from here on out.
Cornhole it.
Later.